Hi, my name's Rebecca Black, and today I'm with It Girl to answer the most searched questions about me. This is Search Bar, right? Okay, how's that?
Yeah, that was perfect. That's perfect.
Cool. What is Rebecca Black known for? Girl, I don't fucking know anymore. It's everything. Is she a DJ? Is she a viral girl? Is she a pop star? I've done it all. I'm just a girl. Is Rebecca Black your real name? See, I want to be mysterious and I want to take a shot just so you don't know, but it is in fact my real name. And I do get that question a lot, actually. Where is Rebecca Black from? I'm from Orange County, California, Anaheim Hills. What's up? How old is Rebecca Black? I'm 27. So if that makes you feel old, that's your problem, not mine.
How old were you when you got to the industry?
I was 13 when Friday came out and did what it did. So I've been doing this for over half my life now. Yeah, right? 14 years. Yeah, scary. Where have you been? I don't know, I have terrible memory. I don't know where I've been. I've been making an album, I've been playing Boiler Room. I've been doing a lot of things I shouldn't do. Is Rebecca Black an industry plant? If I was an industry plant, that would be the most evil thing the industry could have ever done to someone. I would say no. My parents are veterinarians, and I wish I had connections within the industry. I've been an independent artist my whole life. I think I've pushed myself into this industry whether or not it wanted me to be there. I've planted myself.
Why do people accuse you of being an industry plant?
I think people love stories and love conspiracies, and I am one of those people. They love to figure something out. I also think we're in a time where people know more about the way that the industry, all the different pieces of the entertainment industry work. And I don't know if there is actually such a thing as an industry plant, you know? I'd love to meet a real one today. Okay. Why do you think Friday went so viral? I'm trying to decide if I have an answer to this or not. I don't know if I do. Does that make me have to drink?
Or what is it about it that you think people love so much that it went crazy?
Well, to categorize it as something people loved so much, I think is generous. I think the internet, again, I have no fucking idea, actually. I could try to explain this away, and I've been asked this question before. And I wish I could take myself back to that point in time where something like that was as interesting as it was. I mean, obviously the internet is obsessed with cringe, and was Friday, doused with a healthy dose of cringe in itself. It was a 13-year-old girl not expecting for that song to do what it did, living her life as a girl with a dream and a musical theater obsession. So I think there's some bit of weirdness and normalcy at the same time. It was so unplanned for that I think maybe there was an authenticity in that people connected with, but I have no idea at the end of the day. I would love to ask someone else this question, honestly. Was last Friday night TGIF by Katy Perry inspired by your song? I'll drink to that. As if we don't know the answer. It came out before Friday, but who knows? Demos get passed. This is really hard. My body's already rejecting this. Okay. There's also no chaser. Sorry, I'm stalling. Okay, can I get a cheer or something? Thank you. Sorry. Oh my God, that was crazy. Oh, the next question, that's horrible. How much have you made from Friday? Enough to buy myself a car when I turned 18. Okay, will Friday follow you forever? I asked this question many times to myself, and I think I felt very followed by Friday for many years. Whoa, I feel the vodka hitting my organs. It's too early for that. But I don't know. I don't really care if it follows me anymore. I feel like I have kind of taken her on my journey with me for now, and I feel much less chased than I ever have. What is Rebecca Black's net worth? I literally don't know. It's definitely not whatever Forbes or whatever has predicted. If it was, I would be so much less stressed. But I am a single mother of a Chihuahua Terrier mix, just living my life in LA, and it's fucking expensive there. So, who is Rebecca Black dating? Everyone. Is Rebecca Black a DJ? Yes, I am a DJ. And how did I learn to DJ? I learned to DJ in my ex's house 6 years ago. I was 20 and my friend had a controller, and we were just all like, it was my ex and a bunch of friends lived in this house. And it was also my first time being surrounded by lesbians. So you can thank lesbians for my DJing and my own queerness. But they have this controller and I just thought it looked fun. And so I asked my friend J Pan to teach me. And I would just like DJ the parties with them. And that kind of spiraled into randomly booking my first gig, which was for this thing called, it was a party called Candy Pop that existed at this LA venue called the Satellite, which doesn't exist anymore, sadly, because of the pandemic. And I booked that gig maybe like 8 months after learning how to DJ. I had no idea what the fuck I was doing. I'd never been on CDJs before. I had never done it. I don't even remember if I did it via USB or Serato. Like I went in just like, okay, and somehow made it work. And ever since then, yeah, just kept playing and practicing. And I've learned through a lot of people I've dated and a lot of people I've been friends with, and also just like going to Pirate, which if you DJ, you know what Pirate is, and just like spending time by myself there, like making a lot of mistakes. And I find it really fun. Were you a fan of Boiler Room before you were invited to do a set? Such a big fan. I mean, electronic music has been such a big part of my life for so long. Like I remember being 12 and my brother had found like Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites by Skrillex and was obsessed with it and showed me, and I was like genuinely mind blown by what music could sound like. And that was one of the first things that like spiraled me into my dance music obsession. And so I was shocked that I got the opportunity and like the offer to do Boiler Room. I would have never expected that to happen at any point, especially at this point in my life. And so I was very scared to do it. And just so excited to be at a Boiler Room for the first time.
How do you think your set went?
I had an amazing time. I actually wasn't supposed to record that set. I was just going to like get in the room. They ask you if you want to do it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but they ask you like a month before, do you want to have your set recorded? And I said no, because I was so scared to do it. And I felt really good about that decision to just kind of like go in, see what the vibe was. And the set was so much fun that right afterwards, me and my manager were like kicking ourselves that we decided not to do it. And luckily they like happened to record it anyways. So we put it up and I had a really good time. Those CDJs were shaking, which to me is a sign of a good set. So, have my therapy bills been recouped? No. Why weren't you on the Brat remix album? Charlie, I don't know. Anyone who knows me and who has followed me for many years, also, I'm feeling my bun flopping. Okay. Would know I've been a Charlie XCX fan virtually my entire like career as a music listener. True Romance, amazing record. That was my high school. Grins, one of the best songs of all time. And I love Charlie and everything she does. So if I have asked to be on the Brat remix album, I probably would have had to jump off of a building or something. So it would have been really scary for me. That'd be too much of a dream. Okay, does Rebecca Black use autotune? Everyone uses autotune. It's just you use it well. Can Rebecca Black even sing? That is not for me to answer. That is a you problem to figure out. Who are your music inspirations? I'm so inspired by so many people. I'm so obsessed with Lana Del Rey. Gwen Stefani is a huge inspiration of mine and like one of my only sources of hometown pride, being that we're both from Orange County. Madonna, Gaga, Robin, I'm really inspired by right now. Yeah, changes all the time. What's your Spotify Wrapped? Okay, if I can remember off the top of my head, Charlie was number 1. Hey girl, she's always there. Lana was next, Gaga, Chapel, We Stand. And who was my 5th? Oh look, can I? What was my number 1 song was an Always song, which exposes my love for indie. And I remember Taste by Sabrina Carpenter was on there because that song has crack in it. Beyonce. And the reason Beyonce was on there was because at the beginning of the year, my friends and I actually did a Beyonce ranking where we ranked her entire discography out of 100% to 0% from start to finish. So I was listening to a lot of Beyonce. And we also did a Gaga one this year too. What was your worst experience with an artist? Genuinely, I've never had one. I don't think I've ever had a truly bad experience with another artist, especially when I'm working with. I feel really lucky to have been like so embraced by people I love. And the people who have been bad just haven't revealed themselves, so that's cool. What's the meanest critique you've ever received about your music? Friday stuff really doesn't hit in that way, so I couldn't even tell you. And most of the meanest Friday things were about me rather than my music. But I think the thing that irks me the most is when someone just says they don't like it and they can't tell you why. Because give me critique, I love a note. I love to change things. What's the worst celebrity interaction you've had? Genuinely, I feel like I don't have many like bad ones. Wow, I'm feeling very non-juicy, but I feel like the worst interaction I've ever had was just being like a fan of someone maybe, and then maybe them, when I was younger, like a teenager, like making kind of a little mean Friday joke. That would maybe be like and that happened with so many, because the girls were twerking back in the day. But that would maybe be it. But honestly, never really had a bad one. Who inspired your single trust? My ex. We had just moved in together, and that song actually was born out of like an idea of like flaming the spark, and once you're in a situation where you're learning how to like domesticate yourself, how can that be sultry and connected to your sensuality? And there used to be like a whole other different verse about like playing house. That got cut because it didn't need to be there. What inspired your newest single, Sugar Water Cyanide? Sugar Water Cyanide was the last song to make my project Salvation. And I feel like I blacked out the day that we made that song because we made it so fast. We like finished the song in the entire day. It was me, Jesse St. John, and Night Feelings who produced it. And I worked with Jesse a million times, and he was like, you gotta get in with this guy. He's incredible, amazing, so creative. And we really were just like inspired by the idea of this like thing kind of becoming a drug and becoming a person, and talking about like the experience of being out and being in a club and wrapped up in this moment that you'll only experience there. And yeah, that's kind of it. But now that I listen back to me, I think about the song like I think about Diet Coke, because Diet Coke is my sugar water cyanide. What inspired your album Salvation? Salvation was really born out of the first time I've ever really written about myself versus written about love, and written about like my relationship with myself and my relationship with my sexuality or sensuality, my confidence, my way I want to see the world or want people to see the world, how I perceived kind of relationships. Yeah, first not heartbreak project. What is the message you want fans to take away from the album? I'm so curious to see what people think about it and what people take away without me giving them the inspo. But I think if I were to give anyone an idea, This album for me was like learning how to embrace like delusion for the first time in my life. And sometimes I think delusion can be very healthy and very good and very freeing. And I'm a pretty like neutral, reasonable person, I would hope. But this album was like fully tapping into like the crazy bitch in my head. And I think she helped me grow. How would you describe your genre of music? Genuinely, I would like to take a shot because I hate this question. I don't know what it sounds like. Ah! Would you ever want to be on Broadway? That was my childhood dream. I thought that I was gonna end up in New York, living, going to Juilliard, going to Tisch. That was where I wanted to be. And I would, genuinely. This year was actually the first time that I kind of reopened up that conversation with some people that I work with. And I would love to do Broadway. I would love to do Chicago. I would love to do a Showgirls Broadway adapted musical. What kinds of songs do you most like writing? That's a good question. I think I really like a song that is a challenge to figure out. There's a song called Salvation on the project Salvation that was the hardest to figure out the production for, which writing the production, as incorrect as that is to say, is like one of the most important parts, is like figuring out where the song should go and taking it to the place that feels the most correct. And that was the hardest song to make, the one that took the most time. And I feel like those, when you get the finished product, are the most rewarding because it's a lot of being difficult and a lot of like pushing you and the people around you to get it right, but everyone I think appreciates those the most. How has your music evolved over the years? It's gone every which way. It's gone left and then right and then left again, and somehow we've ended up where we are. I think I am constantly evolving, and everywhere I think I'm gonna go is exactly the opposite of where I go. So we've always stayed in the roots of pop, but I've really tried to, especially with this project, push it as far as I can. What is something you wish you knew when you entered the music industry? I think entering as a child, I was like, and especially the position I was in of like my experience, I really looked to trust everybody else but myself. I looked for everyone else's opinions, and I've realized over the years, like a lot of times your gut is the most important thing to have. And usually your gut is always right because it's your project at the end of the day and your name on it at the end of the day. And I love the people that I work with and the advice they give me, and I'm always looking for critique and criticism and to be pushed to work harder. But in any moment where I've had a gut feeling and it's been very strong and I haven't followed it, those are the moments maybe I regret. Which artist would you most want to perform / collaborate with? I would love to work with Skrillex, being that that's been my man for a long time. And I'd love to work with FKA Twigs. I'd love to work with Tinashe. I'd love to work with Chapel. Who doesn't? She's everything. Do you have any plans to tour this album? Well, right before I got here, I announced the tour. So I'm going on tour in March, and I'm touring America and Canada and Europe and the UK. Is this your comeback? Everything's a comeback. I don't know. I've had like 5 comebacks and I'm 27, so I'm just living. If you're here, I'm back. If you're not, I'll come back soon. You decide for me. I think that's it. I think I did it. Yeah. Oh my God. Thanks so much for having me. Those were all of the questions. I think we have covered a lot. You can listen to my new project, Salvation, out everywhere now. Thanks for having me. Bye. And I'll see you in March on tour. They're back. They really just kept coming. They really kept coming. And I only had to take 2 shots at 11 in the morning. So yay.